That's good.
You know, we could read it.
That was Friday and Saturday.
Vacate that.
You're right.
Boston.
Yeah.
I got one of those pink slips.
I get here 5 minutes to 8 to make sure that I'm the first.
You get my name over last Thursday.
That is really barefoot. It says you can't fly, you know, they don't fly 2,000. You can't fly.
All right, we'll call the meeting to order here. Start with.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I will make a note here that we are having technical difficulties for those of you watching online. I apologize. Probably do this after we're done, but we will get the video posted. All right, he straightens out our YouTube, then we can get her going for next time. Thank you.
Hey, I will
Alright.
make a motion to approve the consent agenda of the regular meeting minutes, accounts payable, treasurer's report, and our April 18th special meeting minutes.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Liquor license, Amber, you say we got one for Love's?
Loves travel stops and country stores.
I'll make a motion to approve the liquor license for Love's Travel Stop and Store.
I will second that motion. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Beck?
Stay.
I'm gonna start the countdown for you. Any public comment? Good, Larry.
You want me to come up? Do I need
You can
to?
do whatever you want, buddy.
The one thing I want to do real quick is just a quick update on the GRC thing.
Oh, good.
Like I had made my notes so I can do it quickly. The Glenwood Redevelopment Corporation took possession of the 245 acres up there on April 11th. That has now taken place. We're working on with the state to decommission all the buildings up there because they haven't been shut down. We found out the state can't turn things off because there's still an ICFMR, even though there's nobody up there. So we could never turn anything off. And now that we've taken possession, we have to pay the utility bills, and it's like $60,000 a month while all those buildings are running. So they're now decommissioning those, and we're working with them to do that. And the goal is to have that all done by June 30th.
Good.
Main focus right now is to get permanent utilities to both building 103 for the school and then to get Glen Haven connected. So that's, everybody's racing around up there. You'll see a lot of activity with water and sewer. GMU's involved, American Electrical Gas with Black Hills Energy. So the goal is to try to have that done really by the middle of June. So that gives us 2 weeks to decommission the power plant, which will shut down. The folks are employed up there through June 30th, and then they've been given notice that they'll be done. So hopefully we get the two tenants hooked up. That's the goal. We did hire HDR as the architect. So they are the architect for the project. Right now they're working on what's called RFQs, requests for qualifications for a master developer. You've heard us talk about this before, but the key is to find somebody that knows how to do some things with some of those existing buildings, maybe remodel them into multifamily housing and those types of things. But that's going to take some time to get that done. It's a process with the state. We have to get so many bids, and so it slows things down, but that's just the way it is. It took probably about 4 months to negotiate all the different agreements with the state. Cost a lot of attorney fees, all that good stuff. But at this point in time, I think what probably needs to be, people need to understand is the agreement that we made with the state, well, first of all, let me back up. The state was, if the state stayed involved with this, they were going to tear every building down up there, every single one of them. They weren't going to stay. So when the redevelopment corporation got involved, we said, we think there's some buildings that could be maintained up there, or kept. We think it has, whether it's the fire station, for example, is something we'd like to try to keep, whether it's the girls' cottage to convert it into a multifamily living unit, something like that. That's going to depend a lot on the master developer, but we were able to preserve some of the buildings, but not a whole lot. You're going to see about 85% of those buildings coming down. And, you know, we have to hire, we have to get 3 different bids for, you know, for the environmental guys and everything else, because there's going to be a lot of asbestos and a lot of mitigation that's going to be required. But I think it's important for everybody to understand that we don't have a lot of choice in it. That was part of the agreement. So there'll probably be people saying, why are they tearing that down? We didn't have any choice. We think we did a decent job saving some of them. So hopefully people understand that. So, and the last thing I guess is, well, and obviously the goal for that facility up there is to get, at least this process is to get the site development ready for what we believe will be residential. That's what this overall study showed, but it doesn't mean that's exactly what it's going to be. The goal right now is you're going to get 2 new roads off of 34. You're going to get a new utility spine coming in with water, sewer, electric to do something with development, and you're going to see a lot of buildings coming down. So it's going to be, and that's supposed to run through the agreements through 2028, but the goal is to try to get that down a lot quicker than that.
How many buildings are up there roughly?
Over 100.
Over 100? Okay.
When you count all the little
Sure.
houses
Okay.
out there.
Including Glen Haven.
Well, I mean, yeah, well, of course, we're not tearing Glen Haven down.
Of course, yeah.
But, so, yeah, there's over 100 buildings.
Good.
Anyway, I thought it was important to give you guys a quick update since that's taking place. So, thank you.
I haven't talked with Larry in a couple of months on the GRC, my vision of it. I was planning to talk about it when we went to the budget section, but Henry Clark, Glenwood, Iowa, I'll jump in for a second. I've got a different vision of GRC, okay? I'd rather see that it's a local development. And I realize you might have to have a general contractor or whatever. I'd rather have an auction, okay? I've been up there, looked at all the buildings. A good portion of the big buildings will need to be torn down. But from what I see, there's $20 million of value up there if we held an auction. That includes existing houses, but also lots, okay? I would rather go the auction way because of 2 reasons, or a couple of reasons. One, you get a cash infusion of $20 million. Now, is that number correct or not? It's obviously not correct, but is it 15 million, 25? It's 0. Okay, but my number is 20 million, okay? Holding an auction, what that does is a couple of things. One, it keeps local people involved because then more local people can bid on, I want to buy this lot, I want to buy this house, develop it. Those dollars stay in the community. When you do a master developer, all the dollars go out, all the contractors, okay? Because no contractor here can handle it. All the contractors come in, the money goes out. It's a slow feed into the process. The dollars stay here. Another thing on that, the Veteran Administration Building, the Annex Building, those are great retail locations. I'd recommend to the county to sell them, or if they're leasing them, stop leasing them, move them up into the GRC. There's plenty of buildings that are great for that type of admin. Now, are there the best locations? Yeah, they're the best, but they don't need to be the best. For those functions, they can move up there. So there's more money. I'll use $600,000, $800,000, okay? Move them from there, sell them, move them up there. I realize we just built the annex a couple of years ago. So there's a different vision there. I don't want to get rid of all those old houses, okay? There's lots there to be sold. I'd rather maintain that within our community. Thank you.
Just let me follow up. I want to make it clear, every developer in this town is getting an opportunity to do work up there. The master developer is not coming in here without talking to all the local folks first. So everybody's going to get an opportunity. I don't know what that's going to look like yet, but the master developer is being hired predominantly to get the site development ready for something. When we get to that point, then you move on with the master developer to try to see if it's going to be housing. You can call every builder in in Mills County or in the, Southwest County, give them an opportunity now. So I don't want it to leave this room thinking that we're not, that some big outfit out of Omaha is coming in here and gonna build a whole bunch of houses. I mean, that could happen if nobody wants to do it, what the proposed plan is, but everybody's gonna get an opportunity before anybody from outside is gonna come in.
Anybody else? You're quite over there, Joe. Supervisor committee meeting updates. I had a juvenile detention meeting. That was, I think that was it last week. So I can remember anyway. Nothing major.
I had a meeting yesterday. Amber, Greg, and a few others joined. We met the new community health employee for Mills County Public Health in a partnership with Jenny Ed. Jenny Ed did a 2-to-1 match with our new employee in our general relief program. So we put in $35,000 for general relief, and then Jenny Ed will have $70,000 available to the community in other regards through their foundation with transportation, food, housing, clothes, things of that nature. In addition to that, I believe, if I remember correctly, the Jenny Ed Foundation is also paying the fringe. This employee is a full-time employee, but technically he's an employee of the foundation. The dollar sign worked to be able to be with Jenny Ed and to get a full-time employee. It only costed the county right around $5 grand more, $5 to $10 grand more than having our own part-time employee. And with that $5 to $10 grand more, we also got $70,000 from the Jenny Ed Foundation. So pretty happy with that process, and I think it'll be good for the county. That's all I have.
I had a meeting last week with they had a breakfast for the opioid group that's meeting now. I think the main thing that come out of the meeting was most of these bags of fentanyl and stuff that's coming in, 50% of the pills in the bag of 10 are lethal. And that to me, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me to be putting out killer drugs, but this is happening, and I'm just glad we've got sheriff's departments and police departments that keep their eyes on this. But that's the main thing that we come out of that meeting with. Also attended an economic development meeting. I think the biggest hang up in most of our economic development looking part is the levee down here. It still needs to get some kind of certification and some work done on it before people will really look strongly at building in that area. But other than that, they've got some great projects going or coming in. They look good. We hope they materialize. That's all I have.
Okay, we're a couple minutes late, but we've got the public hearing for the FY26 budget.
Motion to open the public hearing for the FY26 budget at 8:28 a.m.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to open the public hearing for the FY26 budget at 8:28 a.m. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye. Any comments from the public? Anybody here? Henry?
I'm just going to read this real quickly, otherwise it's too lengthy. Normally I would not be here. A friend of mine, his valuation went up $400,000. He said, Henry, what can I do? I said, you can approach that 2 ways, individually or at the budget level. I've got my own issues up in Council Bluffs, went from 1.8 to 2.8 million. So I've already done my part as far as trying to but help out Mills County, but I'll still help them out. I'll just run through these. Economic development. I realize y'all have already acted on this. Get rid of them. Okay. 190K. 2 options I would have saw. 1 was get rid of the budget, or 2, use those dollars to buy land south of town. Okay. For economic development. The EMS. I realize part of that is communications. So if that has to stay, I would get rid of EMS. Now, at first you might say, well, Henry, we got to have an emergency management system. No, you don't. Okay. I won't go into the detail. You can go through every type of emergency. We already have a system to do it. And plus, I would question the degree to which we're prepared already, okay? Next, the county roads, that's out of 648,000 for EMS, I'm sorry. You know, there's roughly 600,000 I'd get rid of. County roads, I would ask them to come up with $1 million of revenue or income or cost savings. When I talk about cost savings, most people always talk about getting rid of people. Any cost savings here is only possibly a reduction of 2 to 3 people, okay? So just because I say save $1 million, I'm not telling get rid of people. On the county roads, I recommend that they do a road study, hard surface, gravel, and B maintenance. Start on the bottom, B maintenance. Which ones, let's do an all county review. Which ones can we close? Which bridge we can close? You know, if there's 2 farmers on each side going down the road, close the road, okay? There's 2 farmers on the other side, close the road. They've got access to their farm fields. If it's an emergency thing with a throughway, okay. Hard surface road. To me, there's about 30 miles of roads that are hard surface that should not be hard surface, okay? And there's probably 3 to 5 miles that should be hard surface. Now, which one's cheaper to maintain? Well, it's probably easier to maintain a hard surface road after it's been put in place, okay? Now, do we grind some of those up and use the grindings for the other 3 to 5 miles? Do we hard surface the other miles? Does that do a cost savings long term, even though it costs up front? Rock and snow removal, I recommend buying 2-acre spots along 34 and stage and machines. I realize we already have some maintenance shops out there. Rock, I'd recommend we buy a lot next to the rock quarry, whether it's next to it a quarter mile. Load all your rock there. Rocks are kind of like vultures. They crush a bunch of rock. All the counties swoop in to get it while it's available, and then they're out of rock. 1 truck from Mills County can do more than 30 trucks from Potawatomi in one day, if all they're doing is this quarter mile away. So I'd recommend do that. That takes your ups and downs out of operating a business out of the way. Right now, you got to send all your trucks because you're trying to beat out all the other people. Snow plowing, I recommend we contract some roads and also develop a snow grading map. There's a lot of issues over the winter. Oh, when's my road grading map? I'd also move into zoning. I would move into a day 1, 2, 3 map and say, folks, you're going to build here, you're day 3 on snow plowing, okay? I don't want to build up the resources to plow every road in Mills County on day 1. But I want to set the expectation for success. See this map, folks? When you buy a house there, you better buy a tractor or 4-wheel truck to get out. Sheriff's Department, I'd like them to save $1 million, earn $1 million, okay? We talk about economic development. We already have a ton of contractors here. They just don't live here, okay? If you sit at McDonald's, there's tons of contractors coming and going, plus the trash dump. I would recommend that we license everyone, put a big sticker on the wall, $1,000 a year. They just have to go online, take a little test. If they don't have the sticker, it's $500 fine. Their flap is flapping, trash is hanging, $500 fine. Fine, $500 sticker or trash flapping. Trash dump, there should be height limitations or breadth. There should be a fine for going up or a charge if they want to go up. Set a limit and say, hey, you want to go?
There is a limit. That is the height they can go.
Okay.
That has been set years ago.
All right. Well, one meeting you said there was no height. They could go as high as they want. Okay?
No, not the landfill. No.
Okay. All right. Fine for grass coverage. I don't see any grass coverage over there. Okay. As they finish up, I see weeds. I don't see grass coverage. I'll speed through this. Again, I already talked about the GRC, 20 million there, moving the VA and the annex up. The health board. This is a discussion to me. What is the major health issue in the county? To me, it's youth mental health. Okay. We're used to just going down the same railroad track. I'd say step off the railroad track. I would say that $500,000 of their 820 budget should go to youth mental health. Whether that's the number or not, it's up for discussion. All this stuff will move us from the top 30% to the 50 to the bottom 30%. This will only be an improvement on the services. Zoning has a budget of $383,000. I recommend they go to a net zero budget. In other words, whatever their costs are, they get billed out through zoning. When I've talked to people on property taxes, they really don't care who's charging them. So I'm going to make a school comment here. Okay. School just paid down their bond. They had the money. They could have paid it down for 2 or 3 years. That moved us from top 30 to the 50%. The next issue the school needs to look at is their cash reserve levy. I won't go into what that actually means, but if you ever dig into it, understand this. They are the Glenwood School District, not the all Southwest Iowa. The dollars that are creating that is for all Southwest Iowa, okay? They went from 30 cents up to about $1.70. Whether I'm correct or not, I didn't want to spend a lot of time researching. Is it $1.70, $1.65? I don't remember. They went from 30 cents about 5 years ago up to $1.70. Get rid of that. That'll move them now from the bottom middle 50 down to bottom 30%. It's about a $2 million saving. There are many million dollars, and always people, oh, there's millions of, no, there's actually millions of dollars between both entities we can look at and either increase income or reduce costs. So I recommend that. You got the budget coming up. I would still vote for it because all these are add-ons and these are positives, okay? All these can be implemented within 3 months. So anyway, that's my input. Whether it happens or not, I'm just doing this for a friend. I need to keep my head up at my other location. But thank you very much for your time and consideration.
Thank you, Henry.
Any other public comments, Amber?
We did not receive any written oral comments prior to the meeting.
Anyone else? Okay, somebody want to make a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing at 8:36.
Seconded.
Got a motion and a second to close the public hearing for at 8:36. Is there any discussion? Everybody should probably do a roll call. Sorry about that.
That's right. Mayberry,
Yes.
Sayers,
Yes.
Krebs.
Yes.
Hearing's closed. Next item on the agenda is consideration formal action, resolution 2512 adopting proposed FY26 budget.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 25-12 adopting proposed fiscal year 26 budget.
I will second that motion.
We have a motion and a second to approve resolution 2512 adopting proposed FY26 budget. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, let's do a roll call, Amber.
Sayers,
Aye.
Crouch,
Aye.
Mayberry.
Yes. Motion carries. 8:30, Mr. Jacob. Yeah, Jacob, no.
Boy.
Stressful week.
Well, you can answer. First item on the agenda is the bid opening for project L 2025-1-65, 360th Street box culvert.
That is the replacement of a failed Greenwood structure. The road's still open, so it was supposed to be closed. Okay. We received 2 bids. One from Dixon Construction out of Correctionville, Iowa. The second from Desk Construction out of Casey, Iowa. We have worked with each of these entities before.
Where's Dixon out of again, Kevin?
Correctionville.
Correction.
They are presently replacing the bridge on 400th Street near Emerson.
Yeah, I knew we were. Who do you have here? Who's this one?
This is Gus.
Gus, okay.
Making a number of mistakes.
See the live stream.
Okay. Gus's total bid is $376,838.
76838.
No, Eddie? Yeah.
And Dixon says $555,697.50. And just for a little reality check,
Budget.
well, our engineer's estimate was $347,142.31. That seems very close. We'll move on. I'll review this, make sure everything's correct, and then come back to have you consider making the award.
Sure.
Okay. So,
Put that on for next week.
no, I think I can.
You want to do it today?
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys want to be here? We can move on to a couple other items.
How about we give you some action on it if award it to the lowest, and if you see something different, we'll do that accordingly. Is that all right?
Yeah. Do that.
Work for you? All right, guys, what do you think?
I'll make a motion to award the contract for the 360th Street box culvert to Gus Construction out of Casey for $376,838,
Pending the review.
pending the review.
We got a motion and a second to award the box culvert replacement to Gus Construction for $376,838 pending engineers review. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Thank you.
Okay.
Next is the right of way.
Yes. This was considering vacating some excess right of way on 230th Street, requested by the landowner. I believe they paid for the survey. We followed the state recommendations, got a hold of all of the utility companies there. We also did locates to make sure the utilities are going to exist within the right of way that we will keep.
You have the right, or the address for that,
Oh,
Kevin?
yeah, 53536 230th Street. We had right of way at that area in excess of 100 feet. There, all of the utilities are within that 33-foot corridor. So
Right away goes clear to their house.
yes. Yeah. So
We talked.
yeah,
Yeah, we have.
still if they're able, it'll match up what's going north there, which is 66 foot total, 33 feet.
We want to
I
approve
would
that.
make a motion to take reference action on resolution 2514, authorizing the vacation of road right of way.
We have a motion and a second, excuse me, to approve resolution 2514, authorizing the vacation of the Essex County Road right away on 230th Street. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oh, resolution. Let's go, roll call, Amber.
Yes. Mayberry,
Yes.
Crouch,
Yes.
Sayers.
Aye.
Thank you. Final voucher for project STBG swap CO 65-114.
We are going to table that one. At least whenever there was a good chance we would have been ready for that. That is, just for your information, that is a project on L 55 from Gaston north to Dobney, through Silver City. The project has been done for quite some time, but taking care of all the paperwork and finalizing the project has been a little difficult because the two gentlemen that worked there in the field are no longer with us.
Oh, nice.
But we will get this.
Perfect. Any general discussion?
I have none. You guys have any
Yeah, I
questions?
had two truckers call me about the Henderson Highway.
Okay.
Are we going, yes, are we going to fill any of the holes or are we gonna tear it up and relay it?
The project boundaries are from M16 east to the county line. There are two sections within that area that there's an option. It amounts to a money situation. If there's enough funding to exercise the options, the entire, if not, we will leave those two portions out that aren't in that bad of shape. Essentially, the project is a asphalt overlay over the existing road.
I explained that situation to them and one was happy and the other one was not happy. Let's put it that way. I'll just leave it there. 50-50, I don't know what do you want. Yeah, but you're
50%,
perfect.
that's better than the 33% rule. Yeah, we had that on the letting schedule I gave for March, and I got some input from some potential bidders that the potential bidders had basically alerted us to a couple of things that weren't going to work out very well. A portion of it, we're going to rubbleize the existing pavement and use that as space. But we also told them the road would be open, we'd use pilot cars. That's nearly impossible to do. So we've taken the rubberization out and are trying to get it back in, I believe, for a June letting
This year?
Yes, so this year. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's still a good possibility to get that done this calendar year. But it's kind of pushing it. A June letting, it would probably be July before we got the contract and proceed. So there is some time before October to get that done. So let's just see how the bids work out for that. Anything else? I'll go take a look at these proposals and come back.
Thank you.
You sign, all right?
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
Farmers Market. Judy?
So I'm just here to check in with you guys and let you know we're gonna start May 14th and run to the end of September, whatever the last Wednesday in September is. And just see, if you guys have any questions or concerns for us. It's gone pretty well, I think, for the last, several years since we've been here. So, we want to continue to work with you guys to have it at this location. A park was offered back to us a little bit, kind of, sort of. But there's a lot of conflicts with like bingo night and things like that would involve parking. And so some people in the community would like to see it move back to the park, but most people like it being here on the courthouse lawn. I mean, it's semi-shady and, it's by the other businesses in town. So there's that advantage, but, yep. So I kind of am anticipating that's going to be a little bit smaller this year. We upped the fee a little bit. It has never been up for, I don't know, 15 years or whatever. And one advantage to that is it kind of weeds through people that just want to pop in with not so great stuff, so that was our thinking. So we haven't had as many people apply, but that can change because people contact us during the whole season when it's going on too. So, but that'll make probably a little less of a headache for me. We wish that more people would turn out for the market. Considering the size of the town, you would think we'd have maybe, I know when it was at the park in the past, we had maybe, this is when Gary was keeping track of how many people were coming through. We would have between 250 and 300. We don't have that anymore. So that's another reason we can't really support, a lot of vendors because there's not enough visitors coming through. So, but we've done everything we can to market the market.
Sure.
And it's a great setting, so it is what it is. And we just go with it. But I think we're gonna have a few less vendors this year. A lot of the seasonal vendors are coming back, that have been involved. So that's nice because they know the rules. They know how it works. It's not doesn't cause any issues. So
Good.
So we'll hope for the best and just wanted to see if you guys had anything.
I have
Sometimes the
nothing
grass is an
Yeah,
issue.
work with the auditor and the groundskeeper and
Yeah.
make sure that they're happy. You stay in touch with them.
Is there going to be music piped from here? Or, because the city, for a while last year, there was music from the city, I think, though.
Does it come from the buildings or does it come from the
Comes
tower?
from
Jenny,
City
you would know
Hall.
that, right?
Comes from the square.
Comes from the
Yeah,
square.
there's speakers on that.
So who controls that? Okay. So sometimes we have music, we have like this older guy band come in that they're really great. They do a great job. So who would I have to contact to try to coordinate if,
The chamber.
just let you guys know we're having music and we don't need, okay. Okay,
I think having the farmer's market on the square is fantastic.
Yeah.
And I love stopping by, buying a loaf of bread or buying some jam and then grabbing a burger and a burger night at the Eagles. It's a
Yeah.
perfect spot.
yeah, we try to work together, with whatever anybody else has going on, Eagles Club or whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
So, it was a good setting, and we appreciate it.
I'll make a motion to allow the Lillman Farmers Market to use the courthouse lawn through May 14th to September 24th.
Second.
A motion and a second to allow the farmer's market to use a courthouse lawn from May 14th through September 24th. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Jenny, you're up.
Good morning.
How are you?
Great, how are you guys? When I used to come and see you, I used to tell you, don't worry, I'm not here to ask for money. But today is not that day. So I'm here with the Mills County Tourism Committee, which operates under the chamber. Lindsay is here with
SCUBA, which is Silver City United Betterment Association.
Great.
It is great. As you know, the Board of Supervisors this year determined that tourism would not receive any of the lodging tax funds, which is fine, and I discussed with a couple of you, and instead wanted us to go look for grants. And we found one last week that is due today. So it's been fast and furious. We located an art project grant, which comes through the Iowa Arts Council and IEDA. And the grant is funded by the National Endowment for the Arts. After talking with the committee last Monday, we determined that Silver City would be a great recipient of a mural on Main Street, mostly because Silver City did begin the SCUBA program and they're working, really diligently to better their town. And they have the Historical Society, very active churches, very active library.
A New Mexican restaurant.
Yes, and a New Mexican restaurant.
Yeah.
So, we contacted Emily McQueen very quickly. She was very excited about it, and you probably know this, but Emily was the artist for the Glenwood City Hall mural. She has constructed the art alley in Malvern, and is very passionate about, helping communities. So again, this went really quickly, and she sent us a sketch this morning. It's right here. Here you go, Richard.
This beyond the,
Oh, I've got that too.
yeah,
So it's going to be, the New Mexican restaurant, it's gonna be the building south of it, this wall. So when you come down into Silver City, there's the big, kind of opens up.
Yeah.
So it'll be this wall. Part of the grant focuses on, let's get in here too. Part of the grant focuses on involving the community. So it's going to be similar to the art alley in Malvern. Emily has created the sketch, but then the actual painting will be done by volunteers and community members in Silver City.
Good.
So she emailed us early this morning, and we've got a cost for the project at $6,500. The grant covers half of that. So we need $3,250. And I'm hoping that the Board of Supervisors will potentially do $2,500 of that, and we'll figure out the other, I don't know, it's not my strong suit, $750 or so.
yep. Now, were you able to get some from either Scuba
Scuba
or
is, oh, sorry,
Silver
I don't want to
City?
talk.
Or Silver City
Over you.
themselves?
Scuba would be willing to put in about 100.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
great news.
And they're in the process of fundraising
We'll have
and
to
things like
raise the
that.
funds to do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
It'd be a great project.
and this will be awarded to us, I believe, in June for the project to start August or so. It needs to be completed by Halloween. So we likely wouldn't need your funds, right now. And again, we don't know if we're going to get the grant, but we're going to apply today with, your contribution promise, I suppose.
I'll make a motion to provide $2,500 worth of local option sales tax to the Mills County Tourism Committee for the Silver City mural project, pending approval of the grant.
2,500, you said.
25 from Lost.
I will second.
We have a motion and a second to approve $2,500 of county funds to the Iowa Tourism Grant for the Mills County Tourism Committee. Is there any discussion? Amber, we have 2,500 in Lost we can find?
Yes, Supervisor.
Good. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Nice doing business with you.
Thank you guys.
The colors that she's going to use are from this old Wabash.
So I'm gonna change my vote now.
They're very cool.
That'll be very cool.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, guys. Wish us luck.
Okay.
We'll be back in touch if we are awarded.
Please do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Get a hold of the lady at the tech book.
Will do.
Henry Clark, general discussion.
Hi there, Henry Clark, Glenwood, Iowa. I talked earlier about budgets, and preparing to do that, I decided to watch one of the Board of Supervisors meetings. Will not go into detail on this unless y'all go to a closed door session. I don't want to perpetuate any negative comments, okay? So I won't answer any positive or specific items. To the board, I'd recommend the following. What I noticed potentially was libel, slander, defamation of character, breaking of the open meetings laws. I don't like to say negative things or say something needs to change without also giving a potential solution. I'd recommend through either the auditor or the county attorney every year, all the board of supervisors and all their head departments watch some sort of open meeting law YouTube or class, and also turn in some sort of signature page that they've done that. It's been a year. I can't remember if it's the Secretary of State or the Auditor's Office. They have a very good YouTube on open meeting laws. I know there's a tremendous drive throughout the whole world for transparency. There's at times when you do not want transparency, and that's why you have a closed door session. So that whether it's a personnel review or whatever, you don't want to impair that person's perception in the community. So there's a good time to have a closed meeting session. So really recommend annual process. That's one thing. I'd also recommend, we've burned our finger on this and we'll burn our finger again, different topics. This is procedural. My background is both as an internal, external auditor, controller, CFO, which is tons of policies and procedures. One recommendation, again, I would recommend the board over X number of years, review all their policies and procedures, okay? You can get your finger burned on an issue, but it's really the same issue, even though it's a different topic. Two of the items that I note frequently when I look at the board, and I was on school board activities, they should have a capital expenditure or CapEx form. There's always the same questions. Is it in the budget? What's the dollar amount? Should we lease it? Should we repair it? You know, why should we get the vendor? What's the need for it? Does it need to be replaced? Those are all canned questions that all of us, as we migrate through our functions in government or positions, we have to learn those questions. Well, let's don't learn them. It should be endowed within forms beforehand. Same thing with personnel forms. Should this person get a pay raise? Should this get a promotion? Why was this agreement? There should be a personnel form attached, okay? Part of that is for transparency. I question why you did that. Well, here's the form. Now, if we were wrong, fine, we need to change the form, but it's not because I failed to learn from my prior people who came before me, okay? So I'd recommend just reviewing all the board policies, procedures, and forms, okay? And I realize that's a huge task, so it's not something you'd pick like 3 or 4 a month to review and go over. But anyways, thank you very much. I really recommend you look at doing some sort of open meeting class review and a sign off on it. Okay, that way, whenever it happens, it's not out of ignorance. You've moved up into the, yes, I knew what I was doing and I chose to do it anyways. Thank you very much for your time and consideration.
Thank you, Henry.
Melissa is, you just,
I reviewed the bid. It was responsive and responsible. 5% over our estimate, 25% under the original estimate. So,
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Whatever.
Perfect.
Just a second.
Amber, you want to do your cut renewal system quick?
Sure. This is a, the system that myself and the recorder's office uses, to archive all of our older records. It would be I believe a 3-year agreement. It did raise slightly from last agreement, about $480 a year. $1,200 a year for the recorder, $1,200 a year for my office. And this is in the budget. Seeking approval to renew our agreement with us.
I would make a motion to approve the contract, is that right? A renewal
Yeah.
for COT Systems. And it's just for the auditor and recorder?
Yep, we do, We archive the records, there's land records, deeds, plats, transfers, road books.
Roads, all of it, yeah.
And I'm looking into possibly for them to add minutes as well.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the renewal for the COT system for the auditor and recorder. 1,200 annually for each, is that what you said?
Yep.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Melissa, you're up.
Good morning.
How are you guys? You're looking to hire somebody.
Still are, yes.
Good.
We're
Oh,
looking to figure-
Yes, thank you.
Yes, still are,
It's a universal clerk position.
yes, still same position, still same, everything that we've discussed.
How much? Give a ballpark or what's the cost?
That part is not clear.
So
I will look at that.
Do that when we officially kind of.
yes,
I'll make a motion for the treasurer's office to approve to hire for the universal clerk vacancy.
I will second that motion. We have a motion and a second to approve the hire for the vacancy for universal clerk for the treasurer's office. Or is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Crouch?
Abstain.
This full time, correct?
Yes. Thank you. Let us know if and when it happens,
Okay,
when you're ready.
thank you.
Thank you. Amber, contribution to family crisis centers.
So in November of 2023, the board approved a $250 contribution fee to be paid out in fiscal year 2025. It did not state which fund you would like to take that from, so I'm asking for clarification on the fund to make that payment that was promised for. I did some looking, and to me, it appears we would have money in lost to take that $250 out. I just want approval from you guys so we can go ahead and make our contribution.
There's the sheriff and the county attorney here. I'd rather take it out of their budgets.
Right? Just tell me.
He's
You let him or
asleep, so he's not
Yeah,
listening.
he can catch it. Sean's ignored me, so.
I would make a motion
Lost.
that we take this out of the lost fund.
Second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve $250 out of lost funds for the FY25 Family Crisis Center contribution. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It's carried.
We probably get more for our bang, $250 in any place else.
Absolutely. I still think it needs one of the other kids for 125 would have been better, but. Oh, well. Resolution 2513, supporting proposed annexation.
This resolution, if passed, would rescind and replace the previous resolution that was passed on commission with the new information that we knew from Council Bluffs.
This has been a long discussion for both Council Bluffs, Mills County, and Potawatomi County. It was a lot of good discussions, a lot of good meetings. I know Greg sat in a few of them. I sat in a few of them. Lonnie and Richard sat in a few of them as well. I think the annexation, knowing that the line will go down to the center line of Bungie Avenue, which will force Council Bluffs to have a road sharing agreement with us for Bungie Avenue, takes a lot of the concerns away from Jake, and I think it takes some of the concerns away from Greg as well. So I'm glad we know that information now, and I'm in support of this. So I'll make a motion to approve resolution 25-13, which supports the proposed annexation.
I'll second that, and just a small comment. We went to a meeting, almost a little over 2 weeks ago, talked to the city council in, Council Bluffs, and to our surprise or amaze, they stumbled onto it that it is in their city law, what they told us, that promotes us to the center of the roads. They have to go to the center of the roads if they're going to annex. So it was quite a relief. I mean, knowing that we wouldn't have to bear this by ourselves.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion?
I'd just like to point out that technically in Iowa law, the city of Council Bluffs can annex into Mills County without our approval. They don't need our approval, but to have some sort of agreement with the road just puts us on the path towards a good partnership for both entities, for both areas, and we can benefit. I mean, from just the TIF, when the TIF is going, Mills County should get $400,000 worth of property tax revenue. Once the TIF is gone, we should have close to $1 million. And when we're talking about a county that gets $14-15 million worth of property taxes every year, that project will be tremendous for our county.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, let's do a roll call.
Couch,
Yes,
Mayberry,
Yes.
Sayers.
Aye.
Motion carries. New business. Anybody got any new business?
I'll make a motion to adjourn at 9:11.
second?
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.
Yep.